righteousness, and the spirit of righteousness, which is a different realm, isn't it? You're dealing in a different realm. Okay? So that's why the people out in the world are carnal. They're mundane. Right? But you have to live in that world. Okay? That's why the Most High says, live righteously in this present world. That's hard, ain't it? How you going to do that? The world is negative. Everything. The Most High said, love not the world or anything in the world. If any man love the world, he love the Most High in him. So how are you going to live in it? See? So coming into this truth, you immediately go on to a different level. Where you were down here before, now you're up here. And then there's another level after that. Another level after that. You understand? Yeah.
Not even that. The jobs you have to go to, sometimes your boss might be a homosexual. And you have to deal with that person every day. Every day. The Lord said that's an abomination.
Not only that, a person that work next to you is a homosexual. Or an Edomite. Yeah. And they laughing in your face and, trying to be, they even try to tell me in my job, yeah, we brothers, man. How are we going to get this brotherly thing going? Oh, okay. The Edomite grew his beard. Can you see me with a beard?
Wow.
Hey, I call him Mr. Carl. Mr. Carl, you see I got a beard. It's like yours. I'm like, yeah, I didn't tell you to grow a beard. I didn't tell him to grow a beard, but he's, because he see the spirit. They can read the spirit. They can read the spirit. What's that you got in your finger? What's that? Menorah? What is that? Menorah? He asked, what is that? I say, that's a menorah. Well, what are you? Are you Jewish or something? I'm a Hebrew. I never say, yeah, I'm a Jew. I'm a Hebrew. Wow, man. I knew you were intelligent. I knew you were smart. That's what they say. I think he asked me to read something in Hebrew or something. And so I started reading it. And he noticed I was reading it from right to left. He says, well, wait a minute, why are you reading like that? I said, because in Hebrew you read right to left. Wow! I didn't know that. That's very interesting, yeah, Yeah, see, sometimes...
Exactly.
Yeah. But they do that. So, but you got to play the game, you know what I'm saying? So I've been there a long time, so a lot of them know what I do, And it's only the Most High. That's what keeps you your job. I should have been fired probably 10 years ago. Things I didn't did at my job. Things I didn't did at my job. But still, it's the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The Most High sustains you. You know what I'm saying? Whether they know you Israelite or not, whether they know you out here speaking and all that. So some of them know that I do at my job. But, they look at me funny. They look at what I wear. So they picking it up. But so what? That's the Most High. Understand? So, because the Most High tell you to be at peace with your enemies. So, and then the Most High will have things work out for you. In my job, I didn't slam people. I work at a psychiatric facility. So sometimes, psychiatric patients get in your face. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta protect yourself. But you ain't supposed to slam them like that. So like that. Bam! So, they wrote me up many times. I got files on me, you know what I'm saying? I got a reputation, for slamming people and doing this and that. Yeah, they call me the slammer or whatever. They do. But in Yahushua, we have to recognize that we have to be more, let's say, circumspect in what we do. If we're not circumspect, then because you're on a different level now, you're on a different level. So if you're not circumspect when you're out there, that's how Satan catches you. He catches you. Because you think, well, I can go back out there in the world, act like the world acts. And you can't do that no more. Can't do that. You're just on a different level now. Remember Adam tried to hide? You know what I mean when Adam tried to hide, right? He tried to do what? Act like the regular folk out there. You can't do that. Remember, it says his bow was not like the rest of the bow trees. Remember? Adam was different than the rest of the trees. The trees talking about people, other nations too.
Yeah.
Right? He tried to hide, he couldn't hide. You know what I'm saying? He just looked, you know, the spirit is different. So, the only thing them demonic forces know that?
They look at you fast.
Yeah. They look at you fast. And you can see, you go around a bunch of people, all of a sudden, because they're spiritual too, in wickedness, but they're spiritual, they're demons. Demons are spiritual, demonic forces. They're spiritual. You understand? They're just demons, negative. So, when you come around them, they look at you. They sense you. Because you're amongst their territory. So that's why Adam tried to hide. He couldn't hide. He's amongst their territory. Here the Most High and gave the earth into this man's hands, pretty much, right? He done named animals and, you know what I'm saying, made righteous. And he gonna go amongst the negative world and try to mix in with them. You can't mix. You can't mix, like I said, you can't mix other nations together. Can't mix other seeds together. It doesn't mix, right? So the same thing with you. You can't mix amongst them. You understand? Even amongst our people who are out in the world, you can't mix. Try to go to one of these clubs out here. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah. I mean, in my early days, I used to try it, right? You try to go ask a woman to dance, she'd get up and walk away. But the next Negro, he could go right to her, she'd get up and dance. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? How come you don't want to dance with me? You don't? Yeah, you don't know, you know, like I know I'm an Israelite, you don't know that, so why come you don't, you know? I gotta go to the next one. She get up, walk away. You know, you can just tell, it's the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that. Sometimes you gotta learn by experience, right? And learn, I said, well, that's the Most High showing me I can't do that. I just can't do that. Now we can have our own little party, right? See? There's enough of us here to have a function, right? How about that, see? And then let a Negro from the world come into our function. What are we going to do? You don't belong here, brother. Head to the door. Yeah. You know how many times brothers come in here and we can see if they were high or drunk? I said, brother, you got to go. See, immediately we say what? You got to go. Same thing in their world, right? You try to do what they do out in the world, they're going to say, look, you don't really belong. What's wrong with you? You understand? They're going to say the same thing. You don't really belong. So we say the same thing when one of them spirits come in here that's high on crack or whatever. You can tell. You can tell. Understand? So it's the same deal. So just remember that. Okay. I didn't mean to get into a tangent, but I was answering the sister's question. But, huh? You got that? Yeah. Yeah. We were at Romans 9. That's a few more. That's it. That's a few. I think it was Romans 9 and 6.
Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of Yahweh has taken non-effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Right.
How about that? They are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Get Jeremiah 5:26. Why are they? The word has taken effect, right? The word takes effect. But for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. So what does that mean? Yeah.
Yeah, those who are of the seed of Israel, of Abraham, but they're not practicing the laws and statutes and
Right.
commandments as Israel.
Right. Okay, come. So, how about that? Do you know amongst the Hebrews, amongst the Hebrew families, all right, there are like 5 Hebrew families. They came out of Abraham. Right? They're considered Hebrew families, but they're not Israel. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about Ishmael.
Okay, you can name them. Ishmael is one.
Which have 6 sons.
Okay, yeah.
After Sarah.
But name the main ones.
Edom.
Edom, that's Esau. Esau's a Hebrew family. Believe it or not. He got your nationality now, don't he? Okay, who else?
Moab.
Moab, yeah.
Ammon.
Ammon.
Um,
You named Ishmael.
and yet Ishmael is first.
Okay.
No, from Abraham.
Yeah.
I know from Shem, but not from Abraham. You know, from Shem you have.
Well, from Shem. It's actually from Shem.
You have Elam.
Uh-huh.
You have Ashur,
Yeah.
which is the Babylonians.
Yeah.
And you have Elam, which is the Persians.
Okay, Kun. The main ones, Esau, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, and I'm looking at Elam. But you got 5 Hebrew families. All right. That even though they come out of Abraham and they're considered, Hebrew families, but they're not the chosen. They're not the chosen. Okay, they're not the chosen. We can go in that later to shore it up and make sure it's go. I know those 4 definitely. Elam, I'm looking at, huh?
Sabines.
Who?
Sabines.
Those are Hamites. Those are Hamites. Okay. But we'll go into it later. I don't want to make the class too long. Okay, so not as though the word has taken non-effect, for they are not all Israel, see, which are of Israel. All right, Khan. And also get Jeremiah 5:26. Also, what else makes them not of Israel? Read Jeremiah 5:26.
Jeremiah 5:26. For among my people are found wicked men.
Yeah, wickedness. Does the Most High consider you an Israelite if you're wicked as hell? No, He casts you out. See? Amongst my people are found wicked men. You understand? He casts you out. All right, go ahead. Was that
They
it?
lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men.
Okay, that's it, right. So evil, wickedness. You understand? So they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. You understand? You got to, Most High consider you Israel, Hebrew Israelite. If we begin to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Understand? First and foremost.
And when they wanted to kill Paul, it was waiting for Paul outside to slay him.
Right.
Oh, we couldn't manage.
Right. Okay. Now go on, read on down.
As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of
Okay,
deceit.
no, go back to Romans. How about that? Go back to Romans 9 and 7.
Romans chapter 9, verse 7. Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Right. And so here's where the Hebrew families are concerned, right? Okay. They come out of Shem. They come out of Eba. They're part of the Hebrew families, but they're not the choice. That's why it has to be specific, doesn't it? Only in Isaac's seed, because why? Other seeds came out of Eba. Do you understand? Other seeds came out of Abraham. Okay?
Correct.
Yes.
Con?
Yes.
What other seed came out of Abraham?
Ishmael.
Okay, Ishmael. That's right.
He was the firstborn.
I'm going to tell you. And Ishmael, they can be relatively spiritual too. They'll call him Most High in a minute. Okay? They call him Most High in a minute. Okay? Of course, not like we do. We call him the Most High in Yahushua, because they're not doing that. Okay? That's the difference. But what I'm saying is, they call him Most High. Okay? You know, they deal with that religion, Muslim, whatever, but still, they call him Most High. What does their name mean? Most High's heard? Ishmael. Yeah. And he's a wild man too. Wild. The only one that I know of all the people on earth that strapping himself down with bombs. Yeah, and blow himself up. And only kill about 5 people. I mean, if you're going to do it, take out about a couple thousand.
Yeah.
But they don't know how many they're going to kill. They just do it.
And they think they're going to get many wives.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in their mind, if they're going to get many wives. So neither because they are the seed of Abraham, see? So this goes, again, like the sister asked about the spiritual Israelite. There you go again. Somebody asks you that, or tell you that they're spiritual Israel, read these scriptures too. And you'll cut them every time. Okay, you'll cut them every time. Christians like to say that too. Christians say that too. All right, they're the main ones, right? Pull this out. All right. And okay, neither because of the seed of Abraham, okay, are they all children, but see, in Isaac's seed, it has to be specific. Paul is making it specific.
That's all capital too.
Yeah, all capital. It has to be specific. Paul is making it clear. But do the churches teach this? No. Because it'll go against the Christian religion. Everybody. God loves everybody. It'll go against that. Everybody's equal. It'll go against that. You understand? They don't read this. They don't never read this. Never. Okay? All right. So read the 8th verse.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh.
See again. See the children of the flesh. Go ahead.
These are not the children of Yahweh, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Right. See? So the children of the promise, understand, are counted for the seed. Is still talking about the flesh. But now, because Paul went back to Abraham's seed, and who's of Abraham's seed? Are the nations, right? Ishmael, and we name, Esau, we name Moab, Ammon, right? They're of the flesh too now. They're from the seed. See? They're from the seed too. That's why he said, he comes back and says, they which are of the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Most High. But how come back in the 4th verse, you know what I'm saying? Or the 3rd and 4th verse, Paul says, my kinsmen according to the flesh. Who are Israelites? See, it's the ones who are according to the flesh who are Israelites. Of what? The seed of Isaac.
From the seed.
See? Who are the seed of Isaac. That's why he's specific. So even though all the other nations are the seed of the flesh too, because they come out of the seed, right? Seed, flesh meaning the seed, the lineage. They come out the seed. Esau come out the seed. He come out of Abraham. Okay? He come out of Isaac. And then you had Esau and Jacob. So Esau is part of his flesh. But only in Isaac's seed. And then of course, of Jacob's seed. All right? Because then the scriptures come back and says, Jacob, he is the inheritor of the Most High's promise. Okay? He is the inheritor of the Most High's promise. All right? So, let's see, Jeremiah 10:16.
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 16.
Right.
The portion of Jacob is not like them.
See, you're not like them. I mean, them is the other nations, right? Go ahead.
But he is the former of all things.
Right, see? Now it's specific here too, right? Did it say, Jacob and Esau the former of all things? No. Weren't they twins?
Yes.
They were twins, right? Well, they were born... Actually, they were not identical twins. They were two nations. So yeah, they were born like twins, but they were separate. How about that? Okay? Fraternal. Yeah, they were separate. So, but here it's specific. It only says Jacob. See? Because somebody may say, well, wait a minute. It says Isaac's seed, but didn't Isaac have Jacob and Esau? Uh-oh.
You can go back to,
Don't get stuck now, right?
you can go back to Romans 9:13.
Yeah, how about that? Okay. So now we're thinking, right? Don't get stuck if somebody say that. Okay, because somebody may challenge you and say, well, wait a minute now. It says only in Isaac's seed. Okay, not Ishmael. But what about Esau? He was from Isaac's seed.
They always put
They'll pull that out on you. Then you got to go to these scriptures.
Romans 9:13.
Romans 9:13, right. That one too. Esau have I hated. And then we're reading this one here. See? So you gotta, don't get stuck when someone come like that. That's why it says study to show thyself approved. Right? Because them demons out there know the Bible too. They know the Bible like you know the Bible. What do you think Esau don't know the Bible? Esau know the Bible, man. Esau knows the Bible, brother. They got Bible scholars. You think you studying? Esau studies more.
Yeah.
You think you really studying the Bible? Esau got rabbis that studies the Bible backwards and forward and every which way. And he studies in the Hebrew and in the Paleo Hebrew. He studies everything, brother. See? You think you the only one that studies? No. Esau studies even more. Remember the scripture say the Greeks seek wisdom.
That's why he's running from his name. He studies and they know.
Yeah. Come. He studies. So he knows his Bible. And we're not talking about the average, white bum out there. We're not talking about that. We're talking about these ones that in their college institutions. You know what I'm saying? They study the Bible. And these college professors and all, they study. So they know the truth too. Understand? So that's why it's important for you to come up on that level.
Right.
Now you got to come up on a level of being a college, like a college professor, but only in the scriptures. Do you understand? That's why it takes time. You got to study, and you got to get your dictionary. You got to get your Josephus, your history, your Bible dictionary, geology. You got to get your maps, archaeology. You got to get all that stuff. And it takes time to get up on that level. It takes some time. Right now, you're learning the precepts. You're getting, reading chapters. You're getting the precepts and that spirit of the Most High and the precepts. But also, eventually, you're going to be getting maps. You're going to be getting the other histories, other books that have history of Israel in it. Right? And it's not just the Josephus. Okay, you got the book of Jasher. You got the book of Enoch. You got other histories out there. Remember, Israel wrote books, man. They got books in the Vatican now, and you bring it into you. So now you're going to read that whole book, So that's why you got to be careful. So that's why some brothers are too fast for their own good. You know what I'm saying? They've only been in the truth for a year, and they're going to buy all these different types of books. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they're reading the book of the dead. And next thing you know, the dead is taking them out there, back out into the dead world. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be careful. And it's real. That's real. Yeah, it's real. Because every book you open has a vibration to it. Don't you know that? The Bible has a spiritual vibration to it. When you open it up what? The Spirit of the Most High. This what? You don't think the Most High has this up there in the spiritual room? He has his own book. He wrote it. So why wouldn't the Most High have this? Remember, the Most High said, I have the book of life. There's the book of life up there with him too. And the book of judgment. How he going to judge everybody. What you did in your life. He has that book too. Everything you did in your life, the Most High has that book. He has two books up there. The Bible and the book of judgment, which is what you did in your life. Alright? That's up there. So just like if you wrote your own book, aren't you going to have it in your possession? So the Most High has it in his possession. So when you open it up, right? And when you start reading it, that spiritual vibration that comes upon you. Yeah. That's why some people, as soon as they read like one verse, they got to close it because that spiritual vibration, they're not used to that feeling. Understand? And they close the book up. They get lost real quick. Understand? So, same thing when you open up those type of books out in the world. especially books concerning witchcraft and all that. Don't open them books up. Every demon in hell is in your house now. You know what I'm saying? And some of those books name some of the demons. So when you read the name, you're conjuring up the demon, right? So finish reading 10:16 Jeremiah.
And Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Yeah, start from the beginning again.
The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things.
See? Jacob is the former of all things, not Esau, even though they both came out of Isaac. Go ahead.
And Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
See? Israel's the rod of the Most High's inheritance, not Esau, even though Esau came out of Isaac too. You understand? Go ahead.
Yahweh of hosts is his name.
See? So you have to read these type of scriptures. And then, of course, like the sister said, you go to Romans 9:13. See? That covers it. You understand? For Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Malachi 1:1. For as it is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. In Malachi. Right? So that denounces the spiritual Israelite philosophy. How about that? Okay? And yeah, go ahead.
Doesn't say that Jacob is the former of all things. It's speaking about the things from the time of
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah. It's going all the way back. It's not just going back to when Jacob was born. Then how is he the former of all things? Right. It goes all the way back to Adam, meaning from Adam, from the creation, right? From the creation, all the way up until now. All right. It's all from the seed of Jacob. Of course, the Mashiach is from the seed of Jacob. Okay, the former of all things. All right. And then when you go into John 1 and 1, it tells you, in the beginning was the Word. That's the seed of Jacob too. How about that? See, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was the Most High. That's the seed of Jacob too. Because the Most High told Jacob, you're not going to be named Jacob no more. I'm going to name you the name I want to give you. You're a prince of power. And then Jacob wrestled with the angel. See? He wrestled with that angel. You understand? See? So from the beginning, that was the seed of Jacob. Former of everything. That's why the Most High have it now, where when you really look at it, everything came out of the seed of Jacob. Everything came out of Israel. Everything. Meaning the inventions, everything. Alright? Everything came out of Jacob. You understand? If Esau invented something, the core primary invention of what he invented came from Jacob. You understand? Yeah.
Because they say now that the GPS itself was invented by a black woman.
Black woman, right? Yeah. I'm sure.
And they didn't give her no recognition.
No recognition.
Deuteronomy 28, why the won't
Yeah.
say recognition?
Everything.
Everything, you'd be surprised. What we even
Right. So we have a vast history. You know what I'm saying? And you just beginning. Even if you've been here 5 years, you still pretty much just beginning. Understand? So, and look, you ever see the book of the Josephus? Thing is like this thick. I read it twice. But the second time I didn't read it all the way through, but almost. I read it like twice. You got to read it. But you got to be somewhere quiet. You got to be somewhere quiet. You cannot read it with, TV on, radio on. Don't read it with headphones on, listen to music. No, you know what I'm saying? Because you really, that's history. Right? That's history.
Don't you have CD?
Huh?
Don't you have CD?
Yeah, that's not.
No, you don't.
No,
You got to read it, brother.
The book.
Read the book. It's different.
Yeah.
Listening to something and reading is two different things. Because when you're listening to something, once he says it once, you know what I'm saying? It's gone. Sometimes you got to read back over it. I got to read back over some things like 4 or 5 times. Just to get an understanding. It's best to read, brother. See, in this day of all this technology, understanding YouTube and social media, we're just creatures of listening. You know what I'm saying? We just listen. Put the earphones on, just listen. Nobody wants to read and go through the work anymore. Nobody wants to read. Nobody wants to write down notes. Nobody wants to do that. Just give me the information. That's why Esau can psychologically deceive you. Because all you're going to do is turn TV on and listen. Well, he can tell you anything. But when you read something, right, it's an imprint in your spiritual mind. It's an imprint. It's there. Understand? You'll remember it better. Understand? Moses, that's why Moses said study. Didn't he say study? Be quiet. He said be quiet and study. Understand? That's what he said. So we got to learn how to do that. Look, there are camps out there, have brothers who, when they speaking, their reader is doing what? Reading the Bible off their phone. That's not how you read the Bible. That's what I'm thinking about this age now, man. That's not how you read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? What if all of a sudden there's interference, all of a sudden you lose your phone? The signal drops. Read, brother. Hold up, man. What's your password? Come on. No brother can read for me with a phone. Understand? You have to read. Get yourself a Bible, hold it up there. Understand? And read. And that's the proper way of doing it. That's what the ancient prophets did, the ancient priests, they read. All right? They didn't use no cell phone to read Moses' word. Unbelievable. Okay? So, did we finish? Let me see. Romans, okay. So let's finish the 8th verse. Read the 8th verse again one more time.
What's that? Romans?
Yeah, Romans.
Romans chapter 9, verse 8. That is, they which are the children of flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh. But the children of promise are counted for the seed.
Right, so now he's getting more specific. He's saying the children of promise. And of course, Isaac's seed was promised. Of course, the kingdom of heaven. Okay, that's in Israel. That's Israel, Yahshua. Okay, go ahead, Al.
For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son.
Sarah shall have a son. Okay. All right, go ahead.
And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by her father Isaac.
Okay. All right. So Abraham had Isaac. Okay. And Isaac is going to have what? Jacob and Esau. Okay. So this is saying, he's saying by promise, right? Go ahead.
For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil.
They didn't do no good or evil. Go ahead.
That the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand.
Yeah, this is only because the Most High's election might stand. Okay? This is why the Most High is saying this. Edomites like to say, well, I didn't put you in slavery. Yeah, it was you the children. You're the children of the ones that put you in slavery. But you still got to suffer the punishment. So what? You didn't do, you know what I'm saying? But it's still, we know that the seed, they're their forefathers. We know that. And we are our forefathers, right? Right? But the Most High is saying this for the ones who try to say, well, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. But the Most High said, okay, you didn't have to do neither good or evil. But I chose you to play the part of the devil. And I'm choosing my people to play the part of my righteous seed. See? Understand? The Most High can do pretty much what he wants to do, right? Pretty much doing what he wants to do. But in righteousness. Okay, go ahead, up.
Not of works, but of him that calleth.
See? The Most High says, not even of works. Don't you know you're the chosen just because the Most High chose you? That's it. Because we didn't do the works. We didn't do it. We failed at that. We failed. So, but because the Most High's promise, the Most High keeps his promises, that's the only reason why you're going to get the kingdom of heaven. That's it. Because the Most High keeps His promises. As far as doing the works, you didn't do that. You failed. You broke the covenant. You didn't. We've become more wicked than the wicked. Even we outdid the wicked. How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? We go extra. Why do we always go extra? Okay, you're gay, but now you're like flamboyant. I mean, why you go extra, man? You know what I'm saying? You know, you pray to idols, but now you're going to sacrifice your children to the idol. I mean, why go extra? Just stupid.
Like a Johnson's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like flamboyant.
Flamboyantly gay. You know what I'm saying? You just go extra, man. A lot of people go overboard with it. And so this is why the Most High said, it's He that called. So as far as the ones of us that are going to be chosen to be redeemed, it's going to be the Most High going to make that decision. He's making that decision. Understand? So, but still, you do your part. You still be diligent. Understand? You still show good works. Understand? Because then more than likely the Most High called you. Understand? If you had that spirit of good works and faith, yeah, more than likely the Most High called you. So don't get disenchanted. Well, I don't think I'm the one because I can only make it once a week. No, don't think that way. If you think that way, you got to let Satan come in there with that thought. Don't ever think that way. Understand? Who brought you in here? The Most High. So what makes you think that you're not called into this? You understand? Yeah.
Just this week I had also talked to Barak, and he was, as we were talking, I said, just remember that it was the Most High that put us here.
Yeah.
And He is the one that supplies us with the grace because He knows we're going to be living in the world under the nature.
Right. Exactly.
So sometimes they might have to go to work on the Shabbat, they go to work on the Shabbat.
Yeah.
If you leave early, come spend the rest of the day with
Right.
your brothers and sisters.
Right.
And keep your Shabbat.
Don't get disenchanted.
Yeah.
Because the fact that we live in a negative world, sometimes you're in a position to do something that you know, of course, that's not of righteousness, like work on the Sabbath or whatever.
Yeah.
Understand? Some of you, some of our people, their job is digging graves.
Yeah.
But now you're around dead people all the time. Well, that's a sin, right? To be around dead people all the time. So what are you going to do? Not have a job? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, until you get probably a better job, but sometimes you got to balance this thing. You got to weigh it. You got to weigh what you're doing. But the Most High is with you as long as you remain in the Spirit. So Scripture says, no condemnation to them who are in Yahushua. Are you in Yahushua? Sometimes you got to make up your mind. Yes, I'm in Yahushua. That's what you got to do. Make up your mind. Understand? And then you're going to do the things, and Yahushua said, well, there's no condemnation. I know, Yahushua, I know you got to work on the Sabbath. See? But he said, what did he say? When they try to charge him of healing on the Sabbath. Sabbath was not made for man, but man for the Sabbath. See, so you got to balance it out, understand? But spiritually. And say your prayers, ask for forgiveness, and then you keep going. You know what I'm saying? Even if you make a mistake and sin, all right, and we all fell short, right? We all sinned. But you got to keep going. You got to stay in this thing. All right? You got to stay in this thing. You got to stay in it. I don't care how much you sin. See? Your job is to go to the Most High and ask for forgiveness. And still be diligent, even though you sin. But of course, you're going to try not to sin.
That's right.
Understand? But sometimes, even a righteous man will fall 7 times, but still he gets back up. So you got to think on that line. Okay? All right? And we're just going to read down to 13 and that's it. Go ahead, Al.
All right, starting at 11, 9:11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Yeah, see how the Most High commanded what he want? See? It's not of him that calleth, not of works, but of him that called. See? So it's not how much, how well you keep the commandments or whatever. You're supposed to keep the commandments, but you can't use that as to say, well, the Most High going to save me, but not you. You can't use that. Remember the ones in the Amazon or the ones in the remote regions? They know nothing about no commandment. But all of a sudden now, when we get to the wilderness, who are you going to see? One of them Amazonians running around not knowing nothing. And they there alongside with you. Okay? Because the Most High calls. All right? Yeah.
But they said that, the book said that Yahushua is going to bring back all to remembrance.
Yeah, he's going to, right.
Even though today they're going to make it.
He's going to bring them back to remembrance. Come. So you got to remember that. All right? Okay, go ahead up.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Yeah, see? So that's why it goes back to the 7th verse. Neither because they are in the seed of Abraham. Because it's showing you that Esau was of the seed of Abraham. So Paul has to make this clear that even though you come out of Abraham, the promises are only given to who? See, yeah, Yasha'Allah. That's it. So that's why he comes back and says, Jacob have I loved. See, he has to put it like that because he's letting people know it's not of him that work. Understand? So what? You keep the commandments better than the next brother. It's not of him that work. It's who the Most High called. It's not because you come out of Abraham. It's who the Most High called. Because, Ishmael like to claim that, we're all brothers in Abraham. He said, no, we're not. But then you show them, no, in Isaac's seed. Understand? So that's why, and get this one in Malachi. This will show you why it says, as it is written. It's written because it's written in Malachi. That the Most High loved Jacob 1 and 2. In Malachi 1 and 2.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet you say, wherein has thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Yes. See? Yes, come. It was. Go ahead.
Saith Yahweh, yet I have loved Jacob.
I love Jacob. He's making it plain, specific. Go ahead.
And I hated Esau.
I hated it. That's a strong word. People hate, the Christian world hate to hear that word hate, don't they?
Yeah.
They hate to hear that word hate. No, God don't hate. No, you're evil, you're wicked. No, you're evil and wicked. See? You're going to sit there and say the Most High don't hate. Most High can hate who you want to hate. See? But they're going to try to tell the Most High you can't hate another nation. Okay? Go ahead, Al.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Yeah, how about that? His heritage is laid waste. That means what? His children. His children's children are going to be laid waste. See, Esau don't want to read this. Churches don't want to read this. Because that means most likely going to take another nation and lay his heritage. I mean, his whole race, his whole lineage, just gone. Wipe him out. That's the most sad. I'm wiping you all guys clean. Clean slate. Yeah, that's why the earth is going to be laid, destroyed by fire. Yahushua, the first time it was by water, right?
Yeah.
This time it's going to be by fire. Fire clean anything. Fire clean. I mean, water cleans, but sometimes you got to add some soap, And if it ain't the good soap, it ain't coming clean. See? But fire, that'll get rid of anything, right? Most I said about fire, his whole heritage laid waste. You know what that means? His whole race, everything gone, wiped out. So you don't think Esau going to fight to try to keep this? He going to fight, brother. He will kill you in a heartbeat. He don't care. He's fighting for his what? His heritage. He will kill you. He's killing his own people. He don't care. The elite know. That's what they fighting for, right? They fight. That's why Esau cried when Isaac blessed Jacob with the kingdom. You know, Jacob supplanted Esau, and Isaac, he went in there to Isaac. Isaac was blind; he couldn't see. So his mother said, "Go in there and dress like Esau." And Esau was hairy. Esau was hairy as hell. You know, Esau was like a damn grizzly bear. He had enough hair on him. He was almost like an animal. You know what I'm saying? So his mother said, "Dress like your brother and go into Isaac and get the blessing," because it was time for Isaac to bless his sons. Right? So this is why Jacob's name was supplant. He supplant. That's why Esau's mad at you. These niggas got our kingdom. They mad. They mad, brother. And I don't mean just mad. I mean they're rage mad. Start raving mad. Because, you know, that's why that jealousy, that's why they still kill you, that's why they still maim you. You know what I'm saying? Go in these hospitals and get an operation. Esau will kill you. You know what I'm saying? And our people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're poisoning the water systems and the food and everything in the neighborhood. Because Esau is mad, man. He got that insane mad. Because it belonged to him, because he was the firstborn. But the Most High said, no, it's not of works. See? It's who I call. It's who I want. Even though the Most High played it out that way, but it's who he called. And Esau knows that. He just can't get rid of that bitterness. He's just mad that it belongs to us. And look at us. Niggas on the street, pants hanging down their ass. You know what I'm saying? We're effeminate, walking around talking about, you know, you're gay, you're faggots, you're this. And he said, these are the children of the Most High? There's no way. See? So he start raving mad. Right? And in some of these Edomites, it comes out of them. They can't hold it back. The elite, no, but some of the you know, the low class Edomites, it still comes out of them. They may not even know it, but it just comes out of them. Okay. Who was it? The owner of Papa John's?
Yeah.
He used the word nigger. That was the end of him. The end of him. Now all this time he been doing commercials and everything. He ain't never used the word nigger. Now all of a sudden he used the word nigger. It just came out of him, right?
Wipe yourself out.
Because that spirit in them is what? That's how they really feel.
Even Roseanne.
Yeah, Roseanne. They use the word nigger, whatever. Yeah. Yes.
Between an ape and Muslim.
Yeah. That's what she said?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, ain't it? Now all this time she done had shows, on TV,
comedy,
all these years, but why now is she coming out like that?
Come back, mess up big.
Yeah, and lost everything. In one split second,
lost it
just
all.
2-3 words, lost everything. Papa John had to retire, lost everything, right?
Everything.
I mean, you know, he may still got millions of dollars, but I'm saying he's not the CEO no more. It's just,
Notoriety is gone.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a chef, a female chef that you know called a dean. She was doing good.
Oh, the
Right.
guy,
Yeah, she could cook too.
Yeah, but with that.
That one time, yeah.
One thing, nigga.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but the
She
workers
told
said,
like it was
the workers,
natural.
but the
though.
workers said that she was doing that to
She
them
had a
behind
party.
the scenes.
Behind the scenes, right.
She
She
was
had a
always
party.
talking to them like that.
Yeah.
And then it came out in
And
public.
somebody
Okay.
did.
She had a party, a slave
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how they feel, man.
Mhm.
So they really hate you.
Wrestling like slaves.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta be wise as serpent, harmless as a dove. You know, but all people out there with no knowledge, they just, bow down to these Edomites and love to go in their circles and act like them and so forth, but don't really know deep down inside Esau is in them. That spirit of Esau is in them, the hatred. It's there. It's always there. It's always been there. Sometimes the Most High just bring it out. You know, little by little, he's bringing it out. And you see these different cases of Edomites just all of a sudden, nigga, oops. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Where did that come from? Remember the one that was on that comedy? He was a comic, curly hair Edomite.
That was in Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, yeah, him. Remember? He was doing comedy and these two jakes come in there. I think they were like disturbing his show.
Yeah,
Or heckling him, and he called him nigga and all kinds of things, right?
Yeah, but he said more than that. He said that's why we used to hang you.
Yeah, he said more than that, right? Yeah.
That's why we used to hang you on the tree.
But see how it all came out?
Yep.
All came out.
See? Before it was on Seinfeld, it was a comic, everything, but it all just came out in one instant. So I'm going to show you that spirit is still there. Spirit of Esau, the hatred, the old hatred is still there.
And he's nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found, no.
Gone.
He's gone, right. And that's the Most High. So that's why we have to be careful, but it's going to increase. It's going to magnify itself, where now, you know, you got some Edomites who don't care about killing black folk, right? So you think these Edomite policemen, you know what I'm saying, they got that same rage in them, right? And when they see black folk with nice houses and cars and, you know, especially these drug dealers driving around with nice cars and stuff and so forth, and then when they got to arrest you, you really think that they're going to try to, you know, treat you nice? They want to get you on the ground. They want you to you know, resist. Stop resisting and you let this hell. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. It got you. You know, and sometimes you gotta try to defend yourself, because when they choking your stuff, what are you gonna do? You're like, come on, man, I don't want to resist, but they're choking me to death. So you're gonna be moving around like them. I can't breathe. So, but that's what they want to do. And the next thing you know, you damn near dead on the ground, or probably dead. You know what I'm saying? So, but that old spirit comes out of them. Yeah.
That lady in Georgia was a white woman in the car. The police were pulling her over, and she wouldn't get out the car.
Right.
She wouldn't roll down the window, and they were like, "Wait a minute, roll down the window." And she was like, "No, because she's gonna shoot me." He said, "We only do that to black people."
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, you're gonna shoot me, and I hear that y'all shoot people. Okay. He said, we only shoot black people.
Black people.
That's what he said. We only shoot blacks. Understand? And so the Most High had that come out in the news and all that. See, so yeah. And you know, the cop didn't mean for that to happen. But
It wasn't recorded.
yeah, it was recorded. But that's the Most High showing our people. See, they still hate you. They're still Esau. You ain't gonna change this man. I don't care how much you love him, you're not gonna change him. Yeah. So, so I mean, that's basically it. So hopefully you got something out of that.